BGMC. The biblical truth lives here.
The ancient Hebrew scriptures foretold of the Anointed One, Yeshua HaMashiach. The Messiah Yeshua came to call the people back to the truth of His word and to follow that righteous path. Yeshua then called Jewish men to be His disciples, and after His death and resurrection, those Jewish men told the world about the Jewish Messiah. Now, after 2,000 years, Beth Goyim Messianic Congregation has that same calling of those Jewish men, telling all people, both Jew and Gentile, about the proper ancient path, teaching the Route 66 King's Highway from Genesis through to Revelation, and how you need and can get back to the proper roots of the faith and a closer walk with God. Now, let's hear the message.
Let's go get a blessing.
Vamos a buscar una bendición.
Turn to the book of Revelation chapter 20.
Vamos a Apocalipsis 20.
Revelation chapter 20 verse 11 and 12.
Apocalipsis 20 versículos 11 y 12.
Revelation chapter 20 verse 11 and 12.
Apocalipsis 20, 11 y 12.
Going on to the next slide. This is the 786th recorded lesson. It's called the immovable holy object.
Esta es la lección grabada 786 y se titula El objeto sagrado inmovible.
Messianic lesson number 786, the immovable holy object.
Lección mesiánica 786 y se titula El objeto sagrado inmovible.
Going on to the next slide. Everything you hear today
Todo lo que escuches hoy
is going to be in English and in Spanish.
será en inglés y en español.
I highly recommend when I'm reading in English, if you're reading it in Spanish,
Él les recomienda sumamente que cuando él lea la escritura en inglés,
read it for yourself. It's eternally important.
que ustedes la lean en español para ustedes mismos. Esto es de una importancia eterna.
Going on to the next slide, today's lesson will have a synopsis
El mensaje de hoy tendrá un resumen
and 2 Ha-Shabbat
y
lessons.
2 lecciones de Ha-Shabbat.
I'm going to read it in English, and our good friend Elizabeth is going to read it in Spanish.
Amen.
Synopsis. What is the holy, immovable, eternal object? How do you get it and retain it? Can you lose it? Can it be stolen? Can it be stopped by Satan? We are living in some strange time. In this Ha-Shabbat lesson, learn how to get, keep, and cherish this eternal, holy, immovable object.
Amén. El resumen dice, ¿cuál es el objeto sagrado, firme y eterno? ¿Cómo se obtiene y se conserva? ¿Puedes perderlo? ¿Puede ser robado? ¿Puede ser detenido por Satanás? Estamos viviendo en un momento extraño. En esta lección de Ha-Shabbat aprenderemos cómo podemos obtener, conservar y apreciar este eterno objeto sagrado e inmovible.
Going on to Ha-Shabbat lesson number 1. Heaven and getting there. Revelation chapter 20, verse 11 and 12. By your actions, biblical actions. Revelation 21, verse 1 through 27. Doing everything in the spirit and in truth to get here. 1 Corinthians 15, verse 51 to 58. Immovable objects. Matthew chapter 12, verse 46 through 50. United with Yeshua takes an immovable faith that might not include your blood family.
Amén. Primera lección de Ha-Shabbat, el cielo y llegar allí. Apocalipsis 20, del 11 hasta el 12, por tus acciones, acciones bíblicas. Apocalipsis 21, del 1 hasta el 27, haciendo todo en espíritu y en verdad para llegar aquí. Primera de Corintios 15, del 51 hasta el 58, objetos firmes. Mateo 12, del 46 hasta el 50, unidos con Yeshua, nos da una fe firme que podría no incluir a nuestra familia de sangre.
Going on to Ha-Shabbat lesson number 2, the immovable objects. Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3. The biblical eternal foundational cornerstone. Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 56, verse 1 through 7. Those that choose. Metiahu chapter 12, verse 8, the strong foundation cornerstone.
Segunda lección de Hashabbat, los objetos inmovibles. Levíticos 23:3, la piedra angular bíblica, eterna y fundamental. Isaías 56 del 1 hasta el 7, los que eligen. Mateo 12 del versículo 8, la piedra angular del cimiento fuerte.
Amen. Let's get ready for a very intense lesson.
Vamos a prepararnos para una lección muy intensa.
This lesson is for us and for those around the globe.
Esta lección es para nosotros y para los que se encuentran alrededor del mundo.
I highly recommend paying very close attention to today's lesson.
El rabino les recomienda sumamente que presten atención con mucho cuidado a la lección de este día.
The Lord gave me this lesson in the beginning of the week.
El Señor le entregó este mensaje al principio de la semana.
We're going to start in the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 11 and 12.
Vamos a empezar en Apocalipsis 20, 11 y 12.
Next I saw a great white throne, and the one sitting on it. Earth and heaven fled from his presence, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, both great and small, standing in front of the throne. Books were opened, and another book was opened, the book of life. And the dead were judged from what was written in the books, according to what they had done. Amen?
Amén.
Now, when this vision from Yeshua
Ahora, cuando esta visión de parte de Yeshua
was given to the Hebrew Talmud Yochanan,
se le entregó al discípulo hebreo Yochanan,
what most people don't realize when they're reading, one second. You five, this people move over to the other side. Quickly. Ariel, go sit with your family. Sure.
Call him back.
No, don't call him back.
No, he said that he's sending units over here if there's more than 4 people in the building.
4.
4. That's what he just said.
All right, well, everybody get their phone ready. We're going to record this. Put it up on the screen over there, Ben. Put it up on the screen. Go to YouTube. Up on the screen. Put the service up on. All right, everybody, we're going to have a
He
challenge.
said he got a call from somebody that we're having live services and, you know. So.
All right, let's put this in prayer, everybody. It's going to be our challenge. Do we have 10 in the sanctuary? Adriana, move over. Over to the other side. Stay over there, Chris. Quickly.
Yeah, he said it's, you know, you were spoken to yesterday, so it's forth, and, you know, and, yeah.
All right, well,
What's going on about that? If there's more than 4 people, there's serious fines and serious repercussions. They're same spiel, so they'll be here probably in a minute or 2.
okay.
Town's not that big.
Hey, bring up on the screen the PowerPoint with the Constitution on it, Tristan. Okay. Well, let's keep talking about the Word of God.
Vamos a seguir hablando acerca de la palabra del Señor.
You guys are talking like this. We're going to record everything. Okay. So Revelation chapter 20, verse 11 and 12. Unmute them both.
They are on.
That's right. I turned the amp off. I want this recorded. But I don't want the police to be able to hear it. They're going to be told they're going to be recorded because we're going to use this in a court of law. Now, everybody stay calm.
Manténganse en calma.
And if you wish to leave, you have a choice to leave. The police are on their way.
Y si deseas irte, puedes irte. La policía viene de camino.
This is against the Constitution.
Esto es en contra de la Constitución.
Governor DeSantis of Florida says we must meet.
El gobernador de la Florida dijo que debemos reunirnos.
Governor of Texas says we must meet.
El de Texas también lo dijo.
We have an Obama appointee as our governor.
Tenemos uno que fue puesto por Obama como nuestro gobernador.
He was the attaché or the to Germany.
Él fue uno que estuvo en Alemania.
Speak into the microphone, please. You're not hearing it, but we're going to record it. So the police are breaking the law because there is no law.
Los policías están rompiendo la ley porque no hay ninguna ley.
And we are doing what God has told us to do.
Y estamos haciendo lo que el Señor nos dijo que hiciéramos.
Let's turn to Leviticus 23.
Vamos a Levítico 23.
Page down. Leviticus, we're going to skip part of the lesson.
Vamos,
Right now.
Vamos a omitir por ahora parte de la lección.
We're going to Leviticus 23, verse 3.
Vamos a Levítico 23, versículo 3.
Leviticus 23, verse 3.
Levítico 23, versículo 3.
Work is to be done 6 days, but the seventh day is a Shabbat, a complete rest, a holy convocation. You're not to do any kind of work. It is a Shabbat for Jehovah, even in your homes. This is why we are here today.
Esa es la razón por la cual estamos aquí en este día.
We are commanded by the King of the universe.
Aquí se nos ordena, y ese es el Rey del Universo.
We are commanded by the King of the universe
Se nos ordena el Rey del Universo
to have a holy
el
convocation.
tener una convocación santa.
And we are going to keep that
Y
convocation.
vamos a guardar esa convocación.
Not to worry about man,
No nos vamos a preocupar del hombre.
okay? We are 10 people in one room and 10 people in another room. This is according to what I was told yesterday.
Hay 10 personas en un aposento y 10 en otra, y eso fue lo que al rabino se le dijo el día de ayer.
But God said that we are to meet.
Pero el Señor dice que debemos reunirnos.
And you have to meet together.
Y tenemos que reunirnos juntos.
Okay? That is according to what God said.
Eso es en acuerdo con lo que el Señor, con lo que Dios dijo.
Because it says it's a holy convocation.
Porque dice que es una convocación santa.
No, let him sit back there. Let's read verse 3 again because this is the importance of today.
Leamos el versículo 3. Esa es la importancia de este día.
Work is to be done 6 days, but the seventh day is a Shabbat of complete rest. A holy convocation, you're not to do any kind of work. It is a Shabbat even in your homes. So people are saying that you can do it in your home.
Las personas están diciendo que puedes hacerlo en tu casa.
But it is a very poor translation.
Es una traducción pobre.
Home in other translation is dwelling.
En el hogar y en otras traducciones es en tu
We're going to
habitación.
go to the notes to the definition. At age 4186, it is the word mashab.
Es la palabra mashad.
Mashab. It is seat, assembly, dwelling place, dwellers, dwelling. Sitting, company, assembly, situation, location. It's on the notes. Yeah. Now, if anybody wants to leave, you're welcome to leave.
El que se quiera ir se puede ir.
But they're going to, probably, but we'll see what happens.
Vamos a ver lo que va a suceder.
But don't give them, they're just, what they think they're doing is what is their job.
Lo que ellos creen que están haciendo es desempeñando su trabajo.
It is illegal
Es ilegal.
because they're stopping us from worshiping.
Nos están deteniendo de adorar.
But they're not stopping Walmart from being open today.
No están deteniendo que Walmart se encuentre abierto el día de hoy.
But my God says that I have to meet.
Pero nuestro Dios dice que debemos de reunirnos.
And it's not in our homes
Y no es en nuestras casas.
because we have to have the holy convocation.
Tenemos que tener una convocación santa.
Because as you look at definition number 3 for mashab,
Porque si ves la definición número 3 para esta convocatoria,
it has situation or location.
tiene una situación o una localidad.
So no matter where you are,
No importa dónde estés,
you are to have a holy gathering.
tienes que tener una convocación santa.
And this is what we are having today.
Y eso es lo que estamos teniendo en este día,
A holy gathering.
una convocación santa.
Okay, and it doesn't mean you can stay in your home unless you're sick.
No puede, eso no significa que debes de quedarte en la casa al menos que estés enfermo.
Okay, so we are having this holy gathering that God said from eternity.
Estamos teniendo esta convocación santa, la cual Dios dijo desde la eternidad.
The first part about verse number 3 that we must get the full understanding of
La primera parte del versículo 3 debemos entender el conocimiento completo.
is that you can't stay home unless you have to stay home.
Es que no debes de quedarte en casa al menos que tengas que hacerlo.
Having to stay home means that you're sick.
Tener que quedarte significa que estás enfermo,
You have you're vomiting.
que estás vomitando,
You have a virus.
que tienes un virus.
Nobody here has a virus.
Nadie aquí tiene un virus.
Nobody here has got vomiting
Nadie aquí está vomitando.
and diarrhea. It even talks about diarrhea in the
Y
Bible.
habla también de flujos de diarrea. Nadie tiene diarrea.
So it says in definition number 3, no matter where you live.
En la tercera definición dice no importa dónde vivas.
So that means the entire world where God sent the Hebrew people.
Eso significa el mundo entero donde Dios envió a su pueblo hebreo.
Whatever country that you dwell in,
En cualquier país en el cual tú mores,
you are commanded to have the Shabbat.
se te ordena hacer el Shabbat.
Whatever the situation is,
No importa cuál sea la situación,
you are commanded to keep the Shabbat.
se te ordena guardar el Shabbat.
If a pagan says no,
Si un pagano dice que no,
then God says yes.
el Señor dice que sí.
Okay? And it says we are to have an assembly.
Dice que debemos de estar reunidos.
It means a gathering of people, not business.
Una reunión de personas, esto no es de negocios.
Now, why is this so important?
Ahora, ¿por qué todo esto es tan importante?
Okay. Now, what we're going to go through in Revelation, which we might not get to today,
Lo que vamos a analizar en Apocalipsis y quizás no lo podemos hacer en el día de hoy.
what we started in Revelation 20,
Pero empezamos en Apocalipsis 20.
is God is going to judge every human by their actions.
Es que el Señor va a juzgar a todos los seres humanos por sus obras.
No matter if you're a Jew or a Gentile, you're going to be judged on the same information.
No importa si eres judío, si eres gentil, vas a ser juzgado con la misma información.
So those people not keeping the Shabbat,
Aquellos que no están guardando el Shabbat
or those people trying to stop our Shabbat,
y aquellos que están tratando de detener nuestro Shabbat
they're going to be judged by the Eternal One to be found wanting.
van a ser juzgados por el Eterno si se le encuentra faltos.
Because every seventh day of the week
Cada séptimo día de la semana
is eternal for God.
es eterno para el Señor.
And He is the one that sits on the great white throne.
Y Él es aquel que está sentado en el gran trono blanco.
So He commands us, let's look at Leviticus 23, verse 3 again.
Vamos a Levíticos 23, versículo 3 otra vez.
Work is to be done 6 days, but the seventh day is a Shabbat of complete rest, a holy convocation. You're not to do any kind of work. It is a Shabbat for Jehovah, even in your homes. Okay? So here we are to complete work stoppage.
Aquí tenemos que detener, reposar del trabajo por completo.
You can't choose the day which is good for you.
No puedes escoger el día que te parezca bien a ti.
In Hebrew,
En el hebreo,
there is only one day with a name,
solo hay un día que lleva nombre
and that is the seventh day.
y es el séptimo día.
You cannot choose that Thursday would be your Shabbat because it's better for you.
No puedes escoger que el día jueves sea tu Shabbat porque a ti te parezca mejor.
Let's look at verse 3 again.
Veamos el versículo 3 otra vez.
Work is to be done 6 days, but the seventh day is a Shabbat, a complete rest, a holy convocation. You're not to do any kind of work. The Shabbat for Jehovah, even in your homes. Okay? This is the eternal, imperishable, immovable, holy object.
Este es el objeto sagrado que es inconmovible y eterno.
This is immovable.
Es inmovible.
So this is why I'm willing to go to jail for this immovable object.
Por eso es que el rabino está dispuesto a irse a la cárcel acerca de este objetivo que es inconmovible.
The word Shabbat is H7676. Some translations call it Sabbath. It means number 1, Sabbath. Number 2, Day of Atonement. Number 3, Sabbath year. Number 4, week. Number 5, produce a Sabbath year.
Amén. La definición para la palabra Shabbat en otras traducciones sábado significa sábado, día de expiación, año sabático, semana, producir en año sabático.
We're going to look at the second definition. It's very important.
Vamos a enfocarnos en la segunda definición que es muy importante.
The Sabbath is a day of atonement.
El sábado es el día de expiación.
Every seventh day
Cada séptimo día,
during our holy gathering,
durante nuestra convocación santa,
this holy convocation,
esta convocación santa,
okay, we have a deep eternal understanding.
tenemos un entendimiento profundo, eterno.
This holy day, this convocation
Este día santo, esta convocación
is eternal.
es eterna.
Okay? And why is it eternal?
¿Por qué es eterna?
I'm going to want you to turn quickly to Isaiah 56.
Vamos pronto a Isaías 56.
Isaiah 56.
Isaías 56.
Isaiah 56,
Isaías 56.
verse 2. Let's look at verse 4 and 5.
Versículos
4
4 y 5.
4 and 5.
4 y 5.
For here's what Jehovah says. As for the eunuch who keeps my Shabbat, who chooses what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant, in my house within my walls I will give them a name greater than sons and daughters. I will give him an everlasting name that will not be cut off. So here, by what we're doing here today,
Aquí por lo que estamos haciendo en este día,
by keeping this holy object firm in our lives,
al guardar este objeto santo firme en nuestras vidas,
God says if you choose his Shabbat
el Señor dice que si tú escoges su Shabbat
in his house,
en su casa,
and this is why we went to Revelation 20 to start off.
y por eso fuimos a Apocalipsis 20 para empezarlo todo,
And then we were supposed to go to Revelation 21.
debimos de habernos ido a Apocalipsis 21.
The new heaven, the new Jerusalem that comes out of heaven.
La nueva Jerusalén que desciende del cielo.
By we choosing to keep this Shabbat gathering,
Al nosotros escoger el tener esta reunión de Shabbat,
we have a promise that Isaiah was told.
tenemos una promesa la cual se le dijo a Isaías.
That even if you're a eunuch,
Aún seas un eunuco,
you have a problem,
tienes una promesa.
a physical problem.
O que tengas un problema, un defecto físico,
You are going to be welcomed into heaven.
serás bienvenido al cielo.
And the Lord said, I'm going to give you a greater name than his own Hebrew people.
El Señor dijo que te iba a dar un nombre mayor aún que su pueblo hebreo.
I'm going to give you an everlasting name
Un nombre eterno
that will never be cut off.
que nunca será cortado.
Because in Revelation 21,
Porque en Apocalipsis 21
you get to drink from the eternal water.
tú vas a poder beber de la fuente del agua eterna.
And when you get into that house,
Y cuando llegues a esa casa,
that if you choose to keep the Shabbat,
si tú escoges el guardar el Shabbat,
if you choose to keep the Shabbat,
si tú escoges el guardar el Shabbat,
then you're going to have a name greater than anybody else.
tendrás un nombre más grande que todos los demás.
Now go back to verse number 2, Isaiah 56, verse 2.
Vamos ahora a Isaías 56, versículo 2.
Happy is the person who does this, anyone who grasps it firmly, who keeps Shabbat and does not profane it, and keeps himself from doing any evil. By breaking the Shabbat,
Al romper, al quebrantar el Shabbat,
by not coming to the holy convocation,
al no venir a la convocación santa,
you are profaning the Shabbat.
estás profanando el Shabbat.
Because Leviticus 23 verse 3 says we must keep the holy gathering.
Levítico 23, versículo 3 dice que debemos de guardar esa reunión convocación santa.
And then Isaiah promises us,
Y Isaías nos promete,
because this is the word of Jehovah,
esta es la palabra de Jehová.
if you keep the Shabbat and you don't profane it,
Si tú guardas el Shabbat y no lo profanas,
if you keep yourself from doing evil,
si tú te alejas, te mantienes aparte de hacer la maldad,
what would be doing evil?
¿qué sería eso de hacer el mal o la maldad?
Would be listening to a pagan governor.
Eso sería escuchar a un gobierno pagano.
Because here we have, I quoted you 2 other governors of other states
Aquí el rabino te mencionó 2 otros gobiernos de otros 2 estados
that are 100% contradicting the governor of New Jersey.
que están contradiciendo al 100% al gobernador de New Jersey.
The governor of New Jersey is contradicting the Constitution of the United States of America.
El gobernador de New Jersey está contradiciendo la Constitución de Estados Unidos de Norteamérica.
Okay? So we're commanded by our God who owns all things
Nuestro Dios nos ordena y Él es el dueño de todas las cosas.
to not profane the Shabbat.
El no profanar el Shabbat.
Now, how do you profane it?
Ahora, ¿cómo es que lo profanas?
By not gathering.
Al no reunirte.
Okay? So here, let's read verse 4 through 6.
Vamos a leer ahora el versículo 4 hasta el 6.
For here is what Jehovah says, for the eunuchs who keep my Shabbats, who choose what pleases me, hold fast to my covenant. In my house and within my walls I will give them power and a name greater than sons and daughters. I will give him an everlasting name that will not be cut off. And foreigners who join themselves to Jehovah to serve him, to love the name and keep name of Jehovah and to be its workers, all who keep the Shabbat do not profane it, and hold fast to his covenant. So it's very clear in verse 6
En el versículo 6 está muy claro
that you Gentiles who are keeping this day holy,
que los gentiles, ustedes que están santificando este día,
we may lose some things here if God allows it.
quizás perderemos algunas cosas aquí si el Señor lo permite.
But one day, when we pass from this life to the next,
Pero un día cuando pasemos de esta vida a la otra,
he's giving a promise to the Gentiles right here.
Él le está dando una promesa a los gentiles aquí,
That all who keep the Shabbat,
que todos los que guarden el Shabbat,
all the foreigners who keep the Shabbat,
los extranjeros que guarden el Shabbat,
who join themselves to Jehovah and serve him.
que se unen a Jehová y que los sirven.
By keeping the Shabbat, you are serving Jehovah.
Al guardar el Shabbat, tú estás sirviéndole a Jehová.
By coming out of your home,
Al salir de tu casa,
you are serving Jehovah.
estás sirviéndole a Jehová.
By coming to the holy convocation,
Al venir a la convocación santa,
you are serving Jehovah.
estás sirviendo a Jehová.
When you don't keep the Shabbat and the holy convocation,
Cuando tú no guardas el Shabbat y la convocación santa,
you are not serving him.
no lo estás sirviendo.
How do you serve him?
¿Cómo es que tú lo sirves?
There are so many laws that God gave us
Hay tantas leyes las cuales el Señor nos entregó
about the Shabbat.
acerca del Shabbat.
Now here, let's look at verse 4.
Ahora aquí vamos a observar el versículo 4.
For here's what Jehovah says, as for the eunuchs who keep my Shabbats, who choose what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant. This is a choice that all of you have to make,
Esa es una elección que todos debemos de tomar,
to keep the holy convocation.
de guardar esta convocación santa.
I can't force you to choose this,
El rabino no te puede obligar o imponerse a que tú la guardes.
but my family went through the Holocaust.
La familia del rabino pasó por el holocausto.
And Hitler did the same thing that's being done to us today.
Hitler le hizo a ellos la misma cosa que se nos está haciendo a nosotros en este día.
Why can an abortion clinic be open with more than 10 people in it?
Porque una clínica de aborto puede estar abierta y con más de 10 personas en ella.
And a congregation or a church be shut?
Y una congregación o una iglesia tiene que ser cerrada.
That's exactly what Hitler did in the late 1920s.
Eso fue exactamente lo que hizo Hitler en los años 1920.
He stopped us from having large gatherings on Shabbat.
Detuvo las reuniones grandes en los Shabbat.
But here in verse 4,
Pero aquí en el versículo 4,
for here's what Jehovah says, as for the eunuchs who keep my Shabbats, who choose what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant. You see something very interesting there.
podrás notar ahí algo que es muy interesante.
The prophet is being told by Jehovah
El profeta se le está diciendo de parte de Jehová
that it is my Shabbat,
que es el Shabbat de él,
that you got to choose what pleases him.
que tú tienes que escoger lo que le agrada a él.
I am choosing what pleases the Lord of eternity.
El rabino está escogiendo lo que le agrada al Señor de la eternidad.
We are following the guidelines that were given to us by the fire marshal yesterday.
Estamos siguiendo las directrices que se nos entregó de parte de los bomberos, del destacamento de los bomberos el día de ayer.
He said that we could have 10 persons in each room.
Él dijo que en cada aposento podía haber unas 10 personas.
We are doing what he told us to do,
Estamos haciendo lo que él le dijo al rabino que hiciera,
even though it's illegal.
aunque sea ilegal.
We're trying to do it, we're trying to balance.
Estamos tratando de balancear.
But here in verse 4,
Pero aquí en el versículo 4,
you have to choose what pleases God.
tú tienes que escoger lo que le agrada, lo que le complace a Dios.
No matter what happens,
No importa lo que suceda.
each person is in charge of their own life.
Cada persona está en control de su propia vida.
And the goal is to get to heaven.
Y la meta es el llegar al cielo.
Because in Revelation 21, it talks about what heaven is going to look like.
En Apocalipsis 21 se nos dice cómo lucirá el cielo.
You know, in Revelation 21,
En Apocalipsis 21
there is no temple
no hay templo,
because God is with us.
porque el Señor está con nosotros.
But you have to choose now what pleases Him.
Pero ahora es cuando tú tienes que escoger lo que le agrada a Él.
You got to hold fast to His covenant.
Tienes que aferrarte, agarrarte firmemente de su pacto.
God commanded us in the Torah,
El Señor nos ordenó en la Torah,
in Leviticus 23, verse 3,
en Levítico 23, versículo 3,
that we must keep His Shabbat.
que debemos de guardar su Shabbat.
It doesn't have an end date on it.
Eso no tiene un día en que se termina.
And when we as Jewish people
Y cuando nosotros como pueblo judío
do not keep the covenant of God,
no guardamos el pacto del Señor,
we get chastised, and this has happened throughout the ages.
se nos castiga, y esto ha sucedido por todas las épocas.
So
o edades.
we are doing what God has commanded us to do.
Estamos haciendo lo que Dios nos ordenó hacer.
And I read this when I was in Israel.
Cuando él estuvo en Israel, él lo leyó todo
I
eso.
went to the Dome of the Book,
Él fue a donde se encuentran todos esos libros, esa
and
biblioteca.
I read the passage of Isaiah that we just read.
Él leyó este pasaje de Isaías que acabamos de leer.
And I saw it for myself.
Y él lo vio con sus ojos.
Let me just talk to this fine law enforcement official. Hi, guys.
Andrew?
Rabbi, yes.
Yes, how you doing, sir? Sorry about you.
You're just doing what you have.
Yeah.
We honor you.
Today we honor you
We-
guys.
we-
I just,
I talked to Dennis yesterday.
yeah, apparently there was an understanding that there shouldn't be no more than 9 total, including yourself,
In each room.
in each room, yeah.
Yeah, we have 9 in one room, 9 in another room. You can come and list. Look,
Yeah, just want to make sure.
you know, there's our sanctuary, and we have some here, and some over there. Here, I'll show you. Come on. These are husband and wife. This is father and son, mother and daughter. Okay? And if you want to come,
Anybody else back there?
no, they're on the other side.
They're on the other side.
I talked to
And
Dennis.
who's in there with
They're listening to me on the other side of the room.
you? Okay,
Just me.
just to verify everything, and I apologize for interrupting.
That's
I don't wanna-
really, we love, I worked for
We
three,
just have to
three-
verify.
uh,
I was here the other day, actually, sir, when
Oh, yeah.
the candle that was lit.
yeah, my
I
stupidity.
was the one that responded.
Thank you.
We're just going to contact Dennis we need to verify that.
Yeah, I talked to Dennis around, I guess it was 11:30.
Okay.
And we talked about separating the congregation if there was more than, I told him I didn't know who
I'm
was.
going to contact Dennis,
Cool.
explain to him exactly how you have everything set up here.
Mhm.
If he says everything is okay, just so I won't have to come in and bother you again. If everything is okay, you will not see me come back in there, everything's good. If he decides that this is not compliant with the governor's orders, all I'm gonna ask is, if he says we would have to move it to an online, like other religions are doing,
Mm-hmm.
we would have to ask if you would honor that order where you would keep it online. Because I'll be honest with you, myself, I'm respectful of religions, I'm Greek Orthodox.
Mm-hmm.
Our priest.
And you got to do things 3 times.
Our priest does everything online now until things are.
The one thing, officer, I just want you to understand.
Yeah.
The Constitution I know you read it, but I just want to say it because we're being recorded. Okay? The Constitution says the government shall make no law prohibiting the free worship.
And I understand that, sir.
My family has died in the Holocaust. You could go up to Fort Lee, you can see the name of Dinnerman on 3 of the camps. My God tells me in Leviticus 23, verse 3, that I have to keep this gathering. The founding fathers understood that.
Understandable.
And there's no law that says it's an order, an edict from our governor, which is contradictory to the governor of Florida.
Which is,
I just want to,
I agree.
and the governor of Texas, and 11 other governors. The Constitution is on our side because King George tried to stop the freedom of religion. And 6 million of my family died because we peeved off God.
Understandable, sir. I'm just, like
So
I said,
let us just worship.
I will, like I said.
No,
Affirmative, sir, just stand by.
okay,
What I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna.
Contact Dennis.
Speak with them. Does everything suffice?
thank you.
You continue.
Stay safe, gentlemen.
If not, he would be issuing any type of complaint from their end.
Hmm.
I'm just,
Okay,
like I said, I'm not trying to interrupt anything, I'm just being honest with,
you're just
doing
doing,
our job.
but just understand, you know, after World War II, there was the Nuremberg trials. The men that followed Hitler were just doing their job. You're being an accessory to a crime. The First Amendment says, and I can put it up on the screen for you, it is on the screen. Governments shall not prohibit the freedom of worship.
I understand, sir. I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to interrupt, I'm not here to, to deny your religious beliefs or anything like that. That's, everybody has their own, just like myself, I'm Greek Orthodox.
Hmm.
I just relaying
You're just a foot soldier.
what we're required to do.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Just speak to our people on our end and then
we're
we'll get
gonna
back
just
to you.
contact.
Okay, I'm gonna keep doing
Yeah,
what-
you continue, sir. I mean, if I have to interrupt you one time, I will, and just advise you, and then we'll be on our way.
Okay.
That's all I'm telling you.
Thank you, Officer
No problem, sir. Tassiopolis.
Baptiopolis.
Tassiopolis with a T.
Lot, those Greek names are very,
Yeah.
all right, thank you, thank you.
Sorry to bother you.
So when I was in Israel,
Cuando él estuvo en Israel,
I saw this passage of Isaiah
él vio este pasaje de Isaías
that says that if you do what God wants,
que dice que si tú haces la voluntad de Dios,
He will bless you.
él te bendecirá
And He'll give you a name in heaven that is greater than sons and daughters.
y te dará un nombre en el cielo que es mayor que el de los hijos y de las hijas.
Let's go back to Revelation. Let's let the Lord work.
Vamos de vuelta a Apocalipsis, vamos a dejar que el Señor haga su obra.
For those that are online, the police department, as you heard, was very courteous.
Para aquellos que se encuentran en línea, pudieron escuchar y darse cuenta que el destacamento de policía que vino a este lugar fue cordial,
But they are breaking the law.
pero están rompiendo la ley.
The gentleman, the police officer, was a Greek Orthodox.
El oficial de policía que vino es un griego, un ortodoxo.
So he is a man that knows something about God.
Él es un hombre que sabe algo acerca del Señor.
So we're going to hope that God works through this officer.
Vamos a esperar que el Señor obre por medio de este oficial.
Because legally we are two different spaces.
Legalmente estamos divididos en dos espacios.
Because when we moved into this sanctuary,
Cuando nos movimos al santuario,
there was another business beyond that wall.
había otra cosa que estaba sucediendo atrás de esa pared que se
So we
encuentra
are
ahí.
fulfilling the mandate of what the government says we need to do.
Estamos cumpliendo el mandato el cual el gobernador dijo que hiciéramos.
Because we want to get to heaven.
Porque queremos ir al cielo.
Let's go back to Revelation.
Vamos de vuelta a Apocalipsis.
Let's go back to Revelation 20.
Apocalipsis 20, por favor.
Anybody learn anything here today?
¿Han aprendido algo en este lugar en el día de hoy?
Welcome to being Jewish.
Bienvenidos al ser judíos.
Welcome to being Jewish.
Bienvenidos a ser judíos.
Welcome to being Jewish.
Bienvenidos a ser judíos.
Welcome to being Jewish.
Bienvenidos a ser judíos.
Okay. Because in Revelation 20,
En Apocalipsis 20,
verse 11 and 12,
versículos 11 y 12,
the Lord says you're going to be judged on what you've done.
el Señor dice que tú vas a ser juzgado por tus obras.
That not just the Jews,
No solo a los judíos,
not just everybody in the world that has ever lived
todos los que han vivido alguna vez en el mundo
is going to be judged by their actions.
serán juzgados por sus acciones.
Not by what you say,
No por lo que dijiste,
by what you do.
por lo que hiciste.
And this is what we trust in,
Y en eso confiamos.
that you're going to get a special blessing that we read in Isaiah,
que tú vas a recibir esa bendición especial de la cual leímos en Isaías.
that the people that are trying to stop the worship of God,
Que las personas que están tratando de detener la adoración a Dios,
but keeping Walmart open,
pero mantienen las tiendas abiertas
keeping the food stores open,
o los supermercados abiertos,
keeping Domino's Pizza open,
Domino's Pizza,
they're going to be judged on their actions.
van a ser juzgados por sus obras.
Okay? Officer, just understand,
Entienda,
when we rented this space, the beyond the wall over there, that was another space. So they're on the blueprints of the town, they are two separate spaces. Oh, which way would you like to come? Would you like to go that way or this way? Either way, sir.
Thank you for your patience.
Like I said, you're just doing your job 44. Because I've worked for 3 PDs. I'd shake your hand, but we
I
can't.
want to just, I don't want to, you could just go ahead. Thank you, I appreciate it. Everybody, sorry to interrupt. Okay, that's virtual, that's very good. That's what I've been using too. As well. Our religious practices.
Yeah, we just walked down the screen. Okay, so back to the lesson while police officer 44. We pray for 44. I used to wear that number when I played football. 44 was a good running back. John Riggins was 44. Okay, some of you non-Americans don't know the real football. Okay, so back to Revelation.
vamos de vuelta a Apocalipsis.
Back to Revelation.
Vamos de vuelta a Apocalipsis.
In Revelation 20,
En Apocalipsis 20,
we're going to be judged by, let me just get to it. Let's read Revelation 20, verse 11 and 12.
vamos a leer Apocalipsis 20, 11 y 12.
Next I saw a great white throne, and the one sitting on it. Earth and heaven fled from his presence, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, both great and small, standing in front of the throne. Books were opened, and another book was opened, the book of life. And the dead were judged from what was written in the books according to what they had done. Now, when this part of Revelation was written, the New Testament was not written.
Ahora, cuando esta parte del libro de Apocalipsis fue escrito, el Nuevo Testamento aún no estaba escrito.
So all people, both Jew and Gentile,
Todas las personas, judíos, gentiles,
are going to be judged by your actions,
van a ser juzgados por sus obras.
not by what you say,
No por lo que dijiste,
by what you do,
por lo que haces.
okay? According to God's standard,
De
Elohim
acuerdo con
standard.
las normas del Señor.
This is something very, very important for all of us to understand,
Esto es algo muy importante para que todos nosotros lo entendamos.
because we believe and trust in our Elohim.
Porque nosotros creemos y confiamos en nuestro Elohim.
Because we know from this passage of Revelation
Sabemos de este relato, de este pasaje de Apocalipsis,
that if you break the holy gathering,
que si tú quebrantas la convocación santa,
the holy convocation,
la convocación santa,
you're going to be judged on what you did.
vas a ser juzgado por lo que hiciste.
Now, I need to be judged on what I've done.
El rabino debe de ser juzgado por lo que él ha hecho.
I prayed to the Lord.
Él le oró al
I'm trying
Señor.
to get on this chair. I'm praying that I don't fall off the chair. All right, let me just get on the chair. That's you. Corona. I used to drink Corona in the summer on a hot day when I was a pagan. And a lime. All right, so when I walked away from the Lord,
Cuando el rabino se alejó del Señor,
I was going to be judged on those actions.
él iba a ser juzgado por esas obras.
And all of us are going to be judged on your actions.
Y todos nosotros íbamos a ser juzgados por nuestras obras.
But Yeshua says,
Pero Yeshua dice,
when you accept him as Messiah,
cuando tú lo aceptas a él como Mesías,
your previous sins are thrown away.
tus pecados pasados son echados fuera.
So now, since most of us here, I believe all of us here, believe that our Messiah has come,
Ahora, como la mayoría, y él considera que la mayoría de los que están aquí saben que el Mesías ya ha venido.
you're now going to be judged by what you've done after that point.
Ahora tú vas a ser juzgado por lo que has hecho después de ese punto.
But this is not just for us.
Esto no es solo para nosotros.
If we look at verse 12,
Si vemos el versículo 12,
and I saw the dead, both great and small, standing in front of the throne. Books were opened, and another book was opened, the book of life. And the dead were judged from what was written in the books according to what they had done. So each person has got to make a choice for themselves.
cada persona tiene que decidir por sí mismo.
But it is very clear that it says the dead were judged.
Pero es muy claro que ahí dice que los muertos fueron juzgados.
It doesn't say the Hebrews were judged.
Ahí no dice que los hebreos fueron juzgados.
Because if you read previous to these verses that we read,
Si tú lees los capítulos, los versículos previos antes de llegar a esto,
well, actually in verse 11,
en el 11,
it said earth and heaven flee from the presence of the great white throne.
dice que delante del trono blanco huyeron el cielo y la tierra.
So that means heaven and earth are now gone.
Eso significa que el cielo y la tierra ya no existen.
So we're standing in front of the great white throne.
Estamos delante del gran trono blanco.
Who is sitting on the great white throne?
¿Quién está sentado en el trono blanco?
That is Jehovah the Eternal One, blessed be his glorious
Es
name.
Jehová el Eterno, bendito sea su santo nombre.
So let's look at verse 12 again.
Veamos el versículo 12 otra vez.
And I saw the dead, both great and small, standing in front of the throne. Books were opened, and another book was opened, the book of life, and the dead were judged from what was written in the books according to what they had done. Okay, so all the dead are judged
Todos los muertos están siendo juzgados
on the same standard.
bajo las mismas normas.
Okay, by what you've done according to the one sitting on the throne.
Por las obras de ellos de acuerdo con aquel que estaba sentado en el trono blanco.
And that is not Yeshua who's
Y-
on the great white
Y
throne.
no es Yeshua quien está sentado en el gran trono blanco.
That is the Father.
Es el Padre.
Now, what does it mean to what you've done?
¿Qué significa por tus obras, por lo que tú has hecho?
Now we're going back to the notes
Vamos a las notas.
because the Lord has blessed us.
El Señor nos ha bendecido.
Let's give a praise offering to the Lord.
Vamos a darle una ofrenda, un aplauso al Señor.
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven and earth. I just love that. The Christians got that song right
El Señor, a él le gusta mucho esa canción, los cristianos la cantan bien.
because they're talking about Scripture.
Están hablando acerca de la
Our
escritura.
God is an awesome God. He reigns. All right, let's see about the deeds.
Vamos a ver esto de las obras.
Okay, in the CJB it says had done. In other translation, it's deeds. It's G2041. It means number one, business, employment, that which one is occupied. Number two, that which one undertakes to do, enterprise, undertaking.
Amén. La definición para las palabras obras, en otras traducciones, acciones, quiere decir negocios, empleo, en lo que alguien se ocupa, lo que uno se compromete a hacer, empresa, tarea.
So we're going to look at the end of definition number one,
Vamos a ver el final de la primera definición,
that which anyone is occupied.
en lo que alguien se ocupa.
So what you're doing today,
Lo que estás haciendo en el día de
we
hoy,
are occupied with keeping the holy convocation.
te estás ocupando con guardar la convocación santa.
Now, when I worked for the police department,
Ahora, cuando el rabino solía trabajar para el destacamento de policía,
everybody had to work some weekends.
todos tenían que trabajar los fines de semana.
And medical personnel like Dr. Mark, everybody's got to work weekends.
Y el personal médico, todos tienen que trabajar algunos fines de semana.
Then you fall under the watchman category.
Ahí caes bajo la categoría de la atalaya.
Because there's always going to be sick people,
Siempre habrá enfermos.
and unfortunately, there's always going to be crime.
Y desafortunadamente siempre habrá crimen.
Now, in heaven, there's going to be no crime.
Ahora en el cielo no habrá crimen.
And we're going to get back to that in a minute.
Vamos a eso dentro de un momento.
Because nothing bad can enter heaven.
Nada malo, lo malo, la maldad no puede llegar al cielo.
But we're going to be judged on our deeds, what we're occupied with,
Vamos a ser juzgados por nuestras obras, con las cosas con las cuales nos ocupamos.
by the one who's sitting on the throne.
Por aquel que está sentado en el trono.
And the one who's sitting on the great white throne is the Father.
Y el que está sentado en el gran trono blanco es el Padre.
And he's going to review each person's life.
Él va a revisar, Él va a reprender la vida de cada persona
to see what you're occupied with.
para ver con qué te estás ocupando.
What he's looking for is this.
Lo que Él está buscando es esto.
What was an immovable object in your life?
¿Cuál es ese objeto inmutable en tu vida?
I was willing to be arrested today
El rabino estuvo dispuesto a dejarse arrestar en el día de hoy.
because Shabbat and this holy gathering is immovable to me.
Porque el Shabbat y esta convocación santa es inmutable para Él.
But everybody's going to be tested on what their immovable objects were.
Todas las personas van a ser probadas en cuáles son sus objetos que son inmutables, son inmovibles.
Let's look at definition number 2.
Vamos a la primera definición.
That which one undertakes to do. Let's stop the first part.
Dice negocios, empleo en lo que alguien se ocupa.
Every Shabbat,
Cada Shabbat
we undertake to do what God commands.
tomamos el hacer lo que el Señor nos ordena.
Now, Jehovah's going to see what you're going to do each and every day.
Jehová ve lo que tú vas a hacer todos los días.
What things are immovable in your life every day?
¿Qué cosas son inmovibles en tu vida todos los días?
What things you undertook to do each and every day?
¿Qué cosas tú tomaste para hacerlas todos los días?
Did you take to reading the Bible every day?
¿Escogiste leer la Biblia todos los días?
Or did you take to Facebook every day, Franco?
¿O te ocupaste con estar en Facebook todos los días?
I'm looking at you. Okay? He's going to look what is immovable in your life.
Él va a observar para ver lo que es inmovible en tu vida.
And he's going to look at what the secular pagans do,
Él va a observar lo que hacen los seculares.
what is immovable in their life.
Lo que es inmutable en sus vidas.
What events were immovable in their life.
¿Qué eventos, qué cosas son inmovibles en sus vidas?
I know a lot of people are very into their birthdays.
El rabino reconoce que muchas personas están metidos en lo que es el cumpleaños.
And that's an immovable thing in their life.
Y es una cosa que es inmovible en sus vidas.
Okay? In the secular world, the birthdays are very big.
En el mundo secular, los cumpleaños son muy grandes.
Like when some people turn 21, they got to go immediately to a bar.
Porque cuando llegan a la edad de 21, muchos se tienen que ir inmediatamente a una barra.
So God is saying here that you're going to be judged on what's immovable in your life, what events.
El Señor está diciendo aquí que tú vas a ser juzgado con cuáles objetos o eventos son inmutables o inconmovibles en tu vida.
Okay? What things or events are immovable in your life?
¿Qué cosas, qué eventos son inmovibles en tu vida?
Are you still more on the secular side?
¿Te encuentras tú en la parte secular
Or are you more on the faith side?
o te encuentras del lado de la fe?
Or when you're trying to move to the faith side,
O cuando tratas de moverte al lado de la fe,
do people try to move you back to their side?
¿será que las personas tratan de moverte de vuelta al lado de ellos?
That's why I said to the police officers, the
Por
law
es-
enforcement people,
Por eso el rabino le dijo a los oficiales de policía,
my God, the King of the universe said, I must do this. It's immovable.
mi Dios, el Rey del Universo, dijo que debo de hacer esto, que esto no cambia, es inmutable.
Our governor is in error
Nuestro gobierno está en un error.
because all the laws are set on the Constitution.
Todas las leyes están establecidas o fundadas en la Constitución.
When you break the Constitution, we're no longer a nation of laws.
Cuando rompes o quebrantas la Constitución, ya no somos más un país de leyes.
When you break God's laws,
Cuando rompes o quebrantas las leyes del Señor,
we are no longer a nation of priests.
ya no somos más una nación de sacerdotes.
So we have to have immovable objects in our life.
Tenemos que tener estos objetos inmovibles en nuestras vidas.
And an immovable object is something that's not negotiable.
Un objeto inmovible es algo que no es negociable.
The Sabbath, the Shabbat, is not negotiable in
El
my life.
Shabbat no es negociable.
It is not something that I can move.
No es algo que el rabino pueda mover.
It is an immovable object.
Es un objeto inmutable. No se puede mover.
Let's look at Revelation 20, verse 12.
Veamos Apocalipsis 20, versículo 12.
What?
We have to evacuate the building according to their statutes and countings. And you may have to contact them.
We fulfilled the mandate, officer. You can come.
Okay, well, spoke to assistant prosecutor. They advised us that the congregation has to come to an end. Everyone has to evacuate the building. I'm sure he explained to you what
Rabbi Dinnerman, my sergeant advised me to contact the police desk ASAP and explain to you. But as of right now, we do need all your patients to please vacate the premises.
You know you're breaking the law.
Sir, I'm following what I'm told.
And if you could just please contact the
I
police
mean,
desk
the
for further
law
information.
basically is the one that told me. The assistant prosecutor contacted and advised us. It's not us making a decision. It's going down through the chain of command.
All right, let me call. My phone's up on the desk.
I mean,
Okay, no problem.
you know, the faster we get this resolved.
So Sarge wants me to call him.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Sergeant
Skolko.
Skolko. My phone's up.
I can.
Yeah, you got him.
But in the meantime, if everybody can vacate, I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. No need for you to go to jail.
No, nobody's going to jail, sir. I'm not here. Sir, I have the same question, trust me. I know what it's.
Skolko?
That has nothing,
All right.
with the police, sir. That has nothing with the police, sir.
Skolko?
Yes. I can give you the phone number if you'd like.
201-443.
No, I got it. It's in my phone.
In the meantime, we need everybody to,
You gather your belongings, please.
Fairview Police Sergeant.
Sergeant Skolko, this is Rabbi Andrew.
Rabbi, how are you?
It'd be great if I can fulfill what God wants me to do.
I understand, Rabbi. I respect all gods, all religions. I don't want any bad outcome of this, but I'm letting you know right now that it's not safe what's happening right now. It's not safe for your congregation. It's not safe for the officers. It's not safe for the borough of Fairview. I have reviewed all governor's orders. I've spoken to Fire Marshal Valley. I know that you and him had a conversation last week and yesterday. I cannot allow you to continue your service. All services are shut down and the building has to be evacuated.
But isn't it?
I do not want an explanation of anything right now. I just need you to comply because you're posing a very unsafe situation for everybody. And it's going to look bad for the borough and for the congregation if this results in something like an arrest or an issuance of summons, because we don't want to do that. I'm begging and pleading that you hold your congregation by yourself with another person assisting you to video all the other parishioners of your congregation so they can see you from home to make this situation easier for myself, my chief, and my assistant prosecutors who are overwhelmed with all this coronavirus doings. It's not an easy time for anybody, so I'm begging and pleading you to just play ball with us, please.
Okay.
But allow my officers to kindly escort your members outside the synagogue. Like I said, you are more than welcome. You and another member of your congregation remain inside, videotape it, live stream it to everybody. Let's go on in a happy way on this holy day for you, and that's it. That's all we want. We want peace, and you don't want us to have any bad outcome. It's gonna look good.
How many people can be in the building? Because
Like I said, yourself and one other person, please. Everybody else, just tell them to go home to their families and await your live stream.
well, I need two families here, so that'll be about 10 people. Because it's my
Rabbi, please,
well-
Rabbi, please, I'm begging you. The congregation has to be in accordance with the borough. We're trying to work together. Tell your families to go home and just have one other person assist you with the live feed of your services. Please try. Did you get the investigation here? There shouldn't be any the medium here. It's just you gotta do what's right for the entire borough. That's it. Send your families home. There's a governor's order to quarantine and stay home. By staying home, you're saving lives. And the prosecutor and the attorney general guidelines are very stern about this. This is a serious situation. You're pulling it to the members of your own congregation and now my officers.
But why?
Please, just
But,
send them all home.
but why does the governor of Florida and the governor of Texas fully disagree with that?
I don't know. And that's not our concern. We're in New Jersey. We have to work with the New Jersey Attorney General. We have to work with the governor of New Jersey. We have to work with the Bergen County prosecutor. We have so many problems in this county being a close relation to New York City. Right now, we're putting everybody in harm if we don't follow the orders. It's proven that it's working all over the country. For the areas that don't abide for it, it's not our concern because they don't operate the way we do.
But
Believe me, you're not the only congregation that wants to sit together in prayer. The Catholics have Holy Week coming up, but that's ended. So every Saturday, you have to do live stream. Your family, your congregation, your parishioners have to stay home and practice their religion at home with you on video.
But that's against
You and
the
another person.
that's against the Constitution. Our attorney general and our
You
governor.
don't put aside the Constitution for the time being, for life. You have to put that aside. You can't refer back to it as a violation of the Constitution when we have a life-threatening pandemic all over the country. There's no other way of putting it.
But we have
Like
a.
I said, the Catholics can't have Holy Week because of this.
But this is a time. This is a time during such a tremendous upheaval that we need to come together and pray.
So do it through live feed.
No,
Congregate through live feed. Yourself, one staff member to help you with equipment, and have your family members abide the rules for life. Stay home. Don't invite them to the synagogue. It's not healthy. You're putting your members in harm's way. There's no other way of putting it.
But we have the cure, and we have a doctor that's already proven to.
Sir, Rabbi, I've exhausted myself with trying to explain, and I have ambulance calls lined up and people in the front lobby. I'm asking you right now, evacuate the building. My officers are going to be assisting you evacuate the building. Okay?
Okay, thank you,
There's no
Sergeant.
other way of putting it.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you for your cooperation.
What do you want to do, guys?
No, they just gonna count and they want us to evacuate. They don't
Hmm?
wanna keep following. They just want us to evacuate, as that guy said.
It's best if nothing happens to you.
What are you breaking God's laws?
I know. It's not meaning
I am.
you didn't choose it. God can't forgive those who choose differently. He's giving. Just take it easy. Take it easy. You didn't break the law. Okay? You didn't break God's law. No one here is going to tell you that. Yeah. We didn't break God's Shabbat. We're here.
We fulfilled our part.
We can only protect those that are here.
Are you still on the phone with Tony Scoville, sir?
Excuse me, sir?
Are you still on the phone with the sergeant?
No, the phone is off. The phone is off.
Let me turn off those cameras.
Let me just pray for a second there, officer. Why don't we all pray? Why don't we all pray? Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. We come before your throne. And we seek your guidance. For the world wants to stop your Shabbat. I don't know what to do, Father. I don't want to let you down. We're going to be judged by what we've done. And you're the one who's going to judge us I don't want to put people in harm's way. And I don't want to put these officers through a sinful situation. Because you said in Genesis 12:3, I will bless those that bless Israel and curse those that curse Israel. I don't want their souls to go to Sheol. They're being misguided by a very poor governor who sided with the Nazis. He was the ambassador to Germany. And now he's doing exactly what Hitler did in 1929, stopping the gathering of the Jewish people. We have a constitutional crisis here in our America, Lord. I don't know what to do. I can't preach your law and not follow your law. Should I go to Caesar and allow them to arrest me for not breaking your service? Or shall I tell people to go home? You said this from eternity. I don't know what to do. I'm just a man, Lord, who's been forgiven so much. It's only 6 more hours. I can't see you sending us home. So I need your wisdom. We did keep part of your holy convocation. We're not able to complete it. So let us go home. You kept the...
That's supposed to fire and we do the bread. Do the yes, I couldn't think of the word.
Why don't we all rise?
Let's all face east. Police officers, for the respect of us, if you can face towards the back. Thank you, sir.
Let's do the sounding and then we'll do the Aaronic benediction. Let's just end with you. Turn the amplifier on. Let's just end with the Aaronic benediction. Big one. When we receive God's name on our hearts. Yebalekaka. Yebalekaka Yehovah Barish Moreha. Yehovah Panabaleka Vikuneka. Isa Yehovah Panabaleka Viasem Laka. Shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you his shalom. Life, fullness, and peace. B'Shem Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Shalom. This is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman. I would personally like to thank you for tuning in to the Remnant's Call each and every week. You can listen to the full message on our website, bethgoyim.org. If you have drawn closer to the King of Kings, learned more about him today, we are blessed. If you are blessed by these messages, please consider a donation to our ministry. You can go to our website, Bgmctv.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. And click on the donate button. You do not have to have a PayPal account to donate. All you need is a debit card. Once again, thank you very much for listening to The Remnant's Call.
If you have not taken your first steps to be born again, just ask God's help. Remember, it's His loving grace that has come to find you. No one is worthy or able to reach God, but God can reach us, and He's reaching out to you now. Just open your heart and let Him in. His arms are open, and the blessing of salvation and eternal life are waiting for you. Don't let it wait any longer.
Ya Adonai, panavoleka, vikuneka, Yisa Adonai, panavoleka, vayasem laka, shalom. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord lift His face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious unto you and give you His shalom.
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. BGMC is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend a day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into His eternal Word, not with just 1 or 2 scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of His kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to Him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-437-3776.
338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.